Dhamma teaching series. We are very honored to have Venerable Sayadaw U Kumara Biwanta to continue teaching us a new series on the Buddha's last days, Mahāparinibbāṇa Sutta. We are also very honored to have Pa'au Singapore to co-host this series. The teaching is scheduled for 1.5 hours, including question and answer. Today is part 13. Before teaching starts, we have a few housekeeping notes. We are using simultaneous interpretation Zoom functionality for today's teaching. First, let's go over the channel selection and take a minute to select your preferred channel. Please choose either English or Chinese according to your preference. Please don't stay at off or original sound channel. If you use a cell phone or a mobile device, when you select Chinese, be sure to click Done to complete the selections. Please select your preferred interpretation language channel now. If you have any questions, please send it to our Zoom chat room. Thank you for your cooperation. Now we are ready for the teaching. May we invite Sayadaw and Interpreter Bande to start the teaching, please? Thadu, thadu, thadu.
Taken 3 refugees and 5 precepts. Repeat after me to take the 5 precepts. Aham Bande.
Aham Bande.
Tisaranena Saha.
Titrinena Taha.
Panja Silan.
Panchatilan.
Dhammaya
Dhamayazami.
Nogahankatawa.
Anogahankatawa.
Ilandita.
Ilandita.
Mebande.
Mebande.
Tutiyampi.
Tutiyampi.
Aham Bande.
Aham Bande.
Tisaranena Saha.
Titrinena Taha.
Panja Silan.
Panchatilan. Dhamayazami.
Anogahankatawa.
Anogahankatawa.
Ilandita.
Ilandita.
Mebande.
Mebande.
Tatiyampi.
Tatiyampi.
Aham Bande.
Aham Bande.
Tisaranena Saha.
Titrinena Taha.
Panja Silan.
Panchatilan.
Dhamayazami.
Dhamayazami.
Anogahankatawa.
Anogahankatawa.
Ilandita.
Tilandita.
Mebande.
Mebande.
Yamahawada Tamwadita.
Amabande.
Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Sammasambuddhassa.
Namo Tata Bhagavato Arahato Dhamma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tata Bhagavato Arahato Dhamma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tata Bhagavato Arahato Dhamma Sambuddhassa.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dhammāṃ saranam gacchāmi, Saṅghāṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dhammāṃ saranam gacchāmi, Saṅghāṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammāṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅghāṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammāṃ saranam gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅghāṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammāṃ saranam gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅghāṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saranam gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammāṃ saranam gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅghāṃ saranam gacchāmi.
Tisarana Gamanam Pribodham.
Amabande.
Panati Pada Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Anatipada Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Adena Dana Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Adena Dana Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Kamesu Micchācara Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Sumisasara Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Musawada Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Mudawada Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Surameraya Mijapama Dathana Pama Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Suramiraya Misapamara Thana Viramani Sikkhapadam Samadhiyami.
Idhame Punya Asawakaya Wahan Hotu
Idame punya atawakaya wahahotu.
Idame silan nibbanasa vijayo hotu.
Idame tila nibbanasa pyasyo hotu.
Isaranena saha panja silan dhaman sadugan katawa abamade na sambadita.
Amabante Vashampya.
Let's start our Dhamma discussion by reciting Namo Tassa 3 times. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Namo Tassa Bhagavato Arahato Samma Sambuddhassa. Today, Mahāparinibbāṇa Sutta, the Buddha's last days, part 13. Last time, the Buddha showed many signs to Venerable Ananda. Venerable Ananda didn't realize what the Buddha means. Then he didn't request the Buddhas to stay full lifespan, Ayuka 100 years or more than 100 years without taking final Parinibbāṇa. Then finally, the Buddha allowed him, Venerable Ananda, to go to the other place. Then Venerable Ananda also went to some distance away from the Buddha. Then he sits under the tree. During this time, when the Venerable Ananda left from the Buddha, then Mara came to the Buddha. Mara came to the Buddha. Then what happened? Mara says to the Buddha, and this is the time for you to take final Parinibbāṇa. This is the time for you to take final Parinibbāṇa. Then please take final Parinibbāṇa. He requested. The Buddha says to me before, as long as my bhikkhu disciple, bhikkhuni disciple, the lay follower and layman followers, upasaka and upasika disciples, they are not skillful in the Dhamma yet. They haven't trained with the Dhamma yet. They still cannot memorize the Tipitaka Dhamma. They have no knowledge and full knowledge in Tipitaka Dhamma yet. That is why they cannot still practice meditations to realize Nibbana according to the Buddha's teachings. Then I will not take final Parinibbāṇa. Is it? Last time the Buddha says to Mara. Why? After when the Buddha became enlightenment under the Bodhi tree, about 50 days, 50 days of Buddha's food. Then Mara says to the Buddha, and you have already fulfilled the 10 paramis for 4 centuries and 100,000 sport cycles to become a Buddha. Then because of fulfillment of the 10 paramis, now you became a new Buddha. You penetrate the enlightenment, the Four Noble Truths. That is why now your wish is already fulfilled. it is not beneficial for you to teach to others, to teach those dhammas to others. That is why please take final Parinibbāṇa. Let me, Mara appealed the Buddhas to take final Parinibbāṇa without teaching his dhammas to Deva and Manusa, Deva and human beings, etc. Then he requested the Buddha. Then that time, the Buddha rejected his request, his entreat. How he rejects? Mara, as long as my bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, upasaka, upasika disciple have not enough knowledge in the Dhamma yet, they haven't, I haven't trained them with their practice yet, is it? They also don't have great knowledge in Tipitaka yet. That means they cannot still practice meditations to realize Nibbana according to Buddha's teaching yet. Then I will not take final Parinibbāṇa. Another one, they also learn from their teacher. They also practice meditation practically. Then they have a kind of attainment. Then they can also teach the teacher's teachings confidently. As long as they haven't have such kinds of self-confidence, yes, then I will not take final Parinibbāṇa. Then another one, when they are teachings, the Dhamma according to Buddha's teachings, some kinds of wrong view may appear. Some kinds of wrong view may appear. Then they were also trying to destroy the Buddha's real teaching, the true Dhamma. Then, as long as they have no abilities to destroy or to solve such kinds of problem with their truth teachings, then the Buddha will not take final Parinibbāṇa. The Buddha says to the Mara in this way, is it? But now, most of your disciples, bhikkhu, bhikkhuni, upasaka, and upasika disciples, are skillful. They are skillful in the Dhamma. They have already trained the 3 trainings. They have many knowledge in the Dhamma. They have greatly learned in the Dhamma. They also already memorized the Tipitaka Dhamma. They know how to practice to realize Nibbana. Then one thing. Another one, they are also learning the teacher's ideas, teacher's teachings accordingly. Then they can also teach the teacher's true teachings to their generation. Another one, when the wrong views appears to destroy the true teaching, they can also solve the problem with their ability. They have such kinds of conditions now. That is why, please take final Parinibbāṇa. The Maharaj requested the Buddhas to take final Parinibbāṇa many times. Is it? Then what will happen? That is why this is time for you to take final Parinibbāṇa. And when Maharaj requests in this way, then finally, the Buddha agree with his request. Ido Dena Masana Echayena. Tathagata Parinibbāya Sati. Don't worry, Mara. Don't worry, Mara. Don't worry the evil. Then I will take final Parinibbāṇa 3 months later from now on. The Buddha says to Mara, from now on, a few months later, 3 months later, I will take final Parinibbāṇa. The Buddha says in this way, is it? Then the Buddha relinquish his, Ayu Sankhara, life maintaining samapattis by saying in this way. Life maintaining samapatti, Ayu Sankharas me. Then how to relinquish the Buddha's Ayu Sankhara, life maintaining samapatti, phala samapatti. Tima samata mewa samapatti samapijitwa, ito parana samapijitami, chitam upaditi. The Buddha enter into Ayu Sankhara plasmapati, life maintaining plasmapatis, by contemplating the Rupa Sataka and Arupa Sataka Vipassana, is it? To maintain his lifespan. But because of the Maharaj's entreat, then the Buddha also agreed with his request. Then I will enter into the plasmapati, life maintaining plasmapati, only for 3 months. After 3 months, I will not enter into this life maintaining plasmapati, or in this way, the Buddha determined, is it? Or this is called the Buddha relinquished his Ayu Sankhara, life maintaining plasmapati. Then after this, the Buddha also recites one stanza rejoicefully. And this one we call Udana, is it? Or Udana. What is the Buddha's like? Tula Matulensa Sambawan, is it? Tula Matulensa Sambawan, Boa Sankhara, Mawazashi Muni, Ejadarato Samahito, Abindi, Kawaja Miwata Sambawan. What causes life, unbounded or confined, or his process of becoming, this six renounces. Within what comes in, join the breaks. It's in almost his own life's causes. This is the stanza explanation, stanza translation. Then the Buddha recites in this way, is it? Then when the Buddha relinquished his life maintaining plasmapati, when the Buddha recites this Udana, okay, this stanza meaning is okay. When the Buddhas abandon the kilesa or defilements, then what happened? He also abandoned his karma, which can produce for new existence. So, although there are karma, those karma will not produce for new existence. That is why, after relinquishing, after destroying the defilements, kilesa, there's no fear in the Buddha. Then, without fear, or with the fearlessness, the Buddha relinquished his Ayu Sankhara, life maintenance samapati. Because the Buddha want to show he has no fears to relinquish life maintenance samapati, or his lifespan. That is when the Buddha recite this stanza rejoicefully. Then after reciting this stanza, then what happened? As soon as the Buddha relinquished his Ayu Sankhara, life maintenance samapati, then very great earthquake appear. Then the whole, 10,000 war cycles was shaken seriously. And at that times, many the many human beings and Deva, they filled with the great earthquake. Then Venerable Ananda also, when he saw this great earthquake, then he was fearful with this great earthquake. Then he approached the Buddha, and he asked the Buddha, Bhante, just now the great earthquake appear here. What is the reason? Then he asked the Buddha. Then the Buddha answered, 8 causes of the great earthquake. What is the reason? What is the cause? This so mighty earthquake should arise like this, is it? Then he asked these questions to the Buddha. Then the Buddha also answered, the Buddha, there are 8 reasons, 8 causes for a mighty earthquakes to arise. What are those 8? Then the Buddha says here, what is the number 1? There are 8 reasons, 8 causes for the great earthquake. Then one thing is Mahētiko Mahānubbāvo. There are San Samana and Brahmana, they have the psychic power. They have psychic power. Because of their psychic power, then what will happen? Then the great earthquake can appear. This is one reason for great earthquake. For example, the earth exists on the water. The water also exists in the on the air. Then what will happen? When the powerful persons, the persons who have psychic power, they use their psychic powers to shake the earth. How to do? For example, the great earthquake number 1 is due to unstable condition of the elements, elements mean number one is the air, the strong wind. So when there's a strong wind like typhoon, the earth exists on the water. Then water also exists on the air. Then when the air is shaken because of maybe sun conditions, weather conditions, etc. When there's a very strong wind, then what will happen? The water also shaken. When the water is shaken, the earth also shaken. Or because of the unstable conditions of the elements, then there will be great earthquake. Great earthquake. Okay, mighty earthquake. This is one reason. The Buddha's answers. Then number 2, number 2 is San Samana and Brahmana, they have the psychic power. Because of their psychic power, they can also shake the earth, or they can make the great earthquake with their psychic power. How to do? How to do me if they wish to shake, if they wish to quake the earth, then they create the water in those areas. Then after that, they try to shake the water. Then when water is shaken, the earth also the earth becomes shaken. or in this way, they can make the earth to be shaken, or they can make the great earthquake with their psychic power, or with their psychic power. Here, this is one reason. Then, another one, I will explain this one first, okay? Then number three reason is here, when the Buddha departed from the two-seater realms to become a human being, to become a Buddha in the human world. You know, before becoming a human being in human world, they also stay in two-seater, they were realms as bodhisattva. They enjoy with the sensual pleasures for some time. Then later, when the Deva and Brahmas requested the bodhisattvas to appear as a Buddha in human world, then they pass away from two-seater Deva realms. Then they became human being, is it? Then they took the Patisandhi in mother's womb in human world. At that time, what will happen? When they take conception, the Patisandhi in mother's womb, at that time, there will be great earthquake. This is the third reason. Then, okay, briefly, due to bodhisattva's conception, taking Patisandhi, there will be great earthquake. Number 4, due to the bodhisattva's birth, you know, when the Buddha came out from his mother's womb, what will happen? Mindfully and clearly comprehension, then great earthquake appear. When the Bodhisattva came out from his mother's womb, then what will happen? Great earthquake will appear in the world. This is the 4th reason. Then number 5th reason. You know, the 29 years, our Bodhisattva, 29 years of his age, then he renounced his royal kingdoms. Then he practiced meditations. Finally, he attained enlightenment. He became Sabhinyutta Buddha. Then, because of the attainment of Buddhahood, because of attainment of Buddhahood, you know, the Buddhas become fully enlightened and unsurpassed, supreme enlightenment. Then what will happen? The great earthquake appear. As soon as he attained the enlightenment, he became Sabhinyutta Buddha, then great earthquake will appear in the world. This is also the 5th reason for great earthquake. Then number 6, you know, when he became a Buddha, our Buddhas, 35 years of his age, he became a Buddha. Then after that, at the beginning, he stayed with the plasma bodies most of the times. Then he also reflect on many profound Dhamma, especially, you know, Paticca Samuppada. When he reflect on the Paticca Samuppada, then it is very profound. It is not easy to realize such kinds of profound Dhamma. Then even the Buddha, you know, have one kind of mind. Now the Dhamma is very profound. The people's mind are people are delightful in sensual pleasure. How they will be able to realize such kinds of profound Dhamma? Then if I preach the Dhammas to them, then only I will be tired, or they cannot realize such kinds of profound Dhamma. That is why at that time the Buddha was unwilling to give the Dhamma talks to the beings. Then you know Sahampati-Brahma came down and the Buddha, Sahampati-Brahma requested the Buddhas to give Dhamma talk. Or there are also some beings who have less defilement in their mind. They have potentialities to realize Nibbana, or because of this reason, please give the Dhamma to those kinds of beings. Or because of Sahampati Brahma's request, the Buddha also decided to give the Dhamma talk. Then, you know, after his Buddhahood, then he found which persons can realize the true Dhamma when I give the Dhammas to them. Then, you know, his Lokiya teacher, Alara and Uddaka Hamid, they just passed away. They just passed away recently. That is why finally he found the Penjavakya, a group of 5 persons who took care of the Buddha when he was practicing meditation. Then the Buddha decided to give the first Dhammas to those Penjavakya. Then he went to the Isipatana Migada Vana, okay, Migada forest near the Varanasi city. Then the Buddha preached the first sermon, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, or excellence, we or the Dhamma. Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta is to Penjavakya Bhikkhu. Then at the end of Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta's talk, then great earthquake appear seriously in the world. Is it? This is the first reason, the 6 reasons for earthquake. Great earthquake, not a small earthquake, no? Small earthquakes appear many times. This one is a great earthquake. Then number 7. Number 7 is just now, you know, when the Buddha renounces his will to live on, that means when he relinquishes his Ayu Sankhara, life maintaining Samapati or lifespan, he decided to take final Parinibbāṇa, or I am going to take final Parinibbāṇa after a few months, after 3 months. Then he decided to relinquish his lifespan, or his life. He will not continue to live after a few months. Then what will happen? Because of relinquishment of Ayu Sankhara, life maintenance Samapati, then great earthquake appear in the world. This is the 7th reason for the great earthquake. Now also, you know, because of this, it appear. Then number 8, you know, after a few months, the Buddha will take final Parinibbāṇa. When the Buddha take final Parinibbāṇa, what will happen? As soon as the Buddha take final Parinibbāṇa, then Mahāparinibbāṇa, then great earthquake appear in the world seriously. There are these 8 reasons to appear. There are 8 causes to appear the great earthquake. Okay, regarding those 8 causes of great earthquake, you know, the skin. Now, you may understand that nowadays there are also earthquake in the world. Why? Usually because of the first reason, you know, they're due to unstable condition or the element, the weather, etc. Sometimes there are strong wind. When there's a strong wind, because water exists on the air. Then when air is shaken, the water will be shaken. When the the water shaken, or the earth also will be shaken. Why? The earth exists on the water. In this way, the earthquake appear. You know, when the unstable condition of element are very strong, the great earthquake also may be a little bit strong in such area like this. But sometimes because of the psychic power of Samana and Brahmana, some Samana and Brahmana have psychic powers, is it? Then they can also make to appear the great earthquake with their psychic power, their powers. Here, how to do, for example, Mahāparinibbāṇa. Sometimes Mahāparinibbāṇa have very powerful psychic power, is it? You may see one time in Chula Dhamma Sankhya Sutta of Majjhima Nikaya. One day, when the Buddha was living in, Pubbārama's monastery in Savatthi, offered by Visakha Upasika. Then Sakka approached the Buddha and he asked one question. Bhante, in which condition, Tanha Sankhya Vimukta, we can consider, how we can consider the person is liberated from craving, or liberated from craving. Then which person is considered the person who has liberated from craving, Tanha. Then the Buddha also explained, then when they practice meditation step by step, especially because of Deva, that they contemplate the Vedana, different kinds of Vedana as Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta, etc. Then finally, they became Arahanta. When they became Arahanta, they completely liberated from craving. They are called Tanha Sankhya Vimukta. Those persons are called, they are free from craving. Free from craving. The Buddha explains to Sakka in this way, briefly. He also asked only just briefly. Why? He was busy, is it? Then he need to return after receiving the answers from the Buddha. Then the Buddha also answered briefly. When they practice meditation step by step, especially for Deva, they contemplate Vedana as Anicca, Dukkha, Anatta. Then finally they became Arahanta. They realized Nibbana. Then they also destroy all defilements, especially the craving. So they became free from craving. They are free from craving. The Buddha answered in this way. Then with the Buddha's answer, then he also called sadhu, sadhu, sadhu in this way, is it? He was delightful with the Buddha's talk. He called sadhu, rejoiced fully. After that, he returned to towering the Devarams. That time, when the Buddha answered his question, Venerable Mahāparinibbāṇa was living near the Buddha. Because here, the Buddha's kuti is here, Ganda kuti. Then right side is Venerable Sariputta's kuti. Then, left side is Venerable Moggallana's kuti. Then Venerable Moggallana also have Sakka asked these questions to the Buddha, but the Buddha answered, but he didn't hear clearly. But he hear the voice of sadhu, sadhu. He called sadhu, sadhu rejoicefully. Then when Sakka returned to his world, then Venerable Moggallana thought, the Sakka, he called sadhu rejoicefully. He really understood what the Buddha mean or not. He wished to investigate. That is why the Venerable Moggallana also immediately followed the Sakka. Then he reached the towering the Devarams. As soon as the Sakka reached towering the Devarams, actually because of too many sensual pleasure in towering the Devarams, especially his palace Vijayanta mentions. There are full of Devi in this Vijayanta mentions. Then as soon as they see such sensual pleasure, he sees the sensual pleasure, then he forget what the Buddha taught to him. Is it? Then Venerable Moggallana also reached there and asked, Seka, just now I have, then you ask a kinds of questions to the Buddha. Tanna Sankhya Vimutta. In which condition, who is considered to be free from craving? Like this. But the Buddha also answered. The Buddha also gave the short Dhammas taught to you. Then what kinds of Dhamma did you lessons to the Buddha? He asked this question. Please share the Buddha's Dhammas to me. At that time, only he just read his towering the Devarams in his palace, Vijayanta mentioned. He also have a full of sensual pleasure in his royal palace. Because of this, he immediately forget what the Buddha taught to him. Then when the Venerable Moggallana asked him, then he couldn't answer. Then what happened? Okay, then he pretends, maybe he speak here and there. One day, long time no see, or something like this. Is it? Long time no see. One day, this is Vijayanta mentions. Vijayanta mentions. There are, 101 like Taiwan towers. Is it? 101 floor in this Vijayanta mention. There are also, 700 hostels, many different kinds of, many different kinds of hostels, many different kinds of mentions in this Vijayanta. Then in each hostel, then what will happen? There are also 700 rooms. Then one day you want to see these mentions, I will show you. Then Venerable Moggallana also keep quiet. Only he just follow what he explained. Okay, no problem. Then he also mentioned in this way. We build this Vijayanta mentions after conquering the Asura, the fighting with the Asura. Last time they also fought with the Asura. Then they conquered the Asura. After that, with the memory of the battery and fighting with the Asura, then they also build this Vijayanta mention in this way. He explained. There are very big 101 stories, and also in each room there are 700 rooms in each hostels. Then in each room there are also 7 Devi. 7 Devi means his wife. 7 wives in each room. There are also 7 servants for each Devi, many. Even one room, 7 wives. Also, each Devi has 7 servants, worker Devi. And how many? About 49 persons in each room. Many, is it? 7 multiplied by 7. In each room, there are many Devi in each room. Then the whole hostel will be many Devis. Because of full of sensual pleasure, then he forgot what the Buddha taught to him. Then he also showed in this way, together with his, the Visavana, the king of the Jatumarajiga Deva, together. Then when they are showing their Vijayanta mention in this way, then Venerable Moggallana understood. Then he was pretending, showing here and there. He already forgot. Then I should make him to be fearful. Okay, I should make him fearful. Then with the intention, then Venerable Moggallana used his psychic power. Then with his great tool, then he trying to shake the Vijayanta mention. Then Vijayanta mention shake here and there like this, nearly fallen down. At that time, many Deva and Devi was shocked. They feared with the shaking of the wisdom dimension. At that time, they requested Venerable Mahāparinibbāṇa Bhante, please don't do this, please don't do this. Is it? Please don't do that, please don't do this. Then at that time, because of the fear in their mind, you know, the Saka immediately appear what the Buddha taught. Then he explained, the Buddha says, all sankhara are impermanent. You know, sabhi sankhara anicca, and also, you know, especially vedana. There are many different kinds of vedana feelings. They are impermanent. When they contemplate the vedana as impermanence for many times, then they can become arhanta, or they can be free from craving, tanha. Or he explains to Venerable Mahāparinibbāṇa. You know, when there's a fear in their mind, then they also remember the Dhamma again. Otherwise, because of full of sensual pleasure in their mission, then even he forgets the Buddha's Dhamma immediately. He only just listens to the Dhamma from the Buddha. As soon as he returned to his towering the Devara, he saw a lot of sensual pleasure, then he automatically forget. That is why, if you wish to practice meditation to be successfully, that is why you should go to the monastery or meditation center where there's not too many sensual pleasure, no sensual pleasure. That is why the Buddha also, you know, he renounced the Raya Kingdom, went to the forest to search for enlightenment, to search for the enlightenment. In the same way, the Buddha also encouraged his disciple to go to the forest to practice meditation in this way. Is it? This is okay. Venerable Mahāparinibbāṇa use his psychic powers to make shaking of the Vijayana dimension. He made his psychic power. He only just used his great tool to shake the Saka's Vijayana mentions. In the same way, you know, here in the commentary mentions Sangha Rakita Samanera. That was the Samanera named Sangha Rakita. He was Arahanta Mahanaga Thera's nephew. He only just 7 years old. What will happen? Then he also ordained under his uncle Mahanaga Thera Arahanta. Then when he was ordained as a Samanera, you know, before ordination, the Mahanaga Thera taught a kind of meditation, especially, you know, reflection on the Tacha Panchaka. When they are shaking your hair, then you reflect on the repulsive nature, formless natures of your body by reflecting on, you know, Kesa, Loma, Naka, Danda, the jaw, or hair, body hair, nail, the skin in this way. Then what will happen? Then, when they are reflecting on this, then he attained the first jhana. Based on the first jhana, he continued to contemplate the nama and rupa as anicca, dukkha, anatta. Then, because of his fulfillment of parami in the past, then he became arhanta during the shaping of his hair. Is it? Then, as soon as he became arhanta, then he only just ordains today, then he became arhanta today. Then he also thought, okay, Atinuko kochi beku, yena papajita divasi wa aratam pata, vejando pasado, was there any persons who could shape the Vijayana dimension? Sekas, you know, the palace, endowing the Devarams, with their psychic power. They just ordained today and they just became Arahanta in the past. Then he reflect in this way, then nobody there. Even Venerable Moggallana also actually, not his ordination time, he trying to shake the Vijayanta mission in Dawarinda Devaran when he became Agasavaka chief disciple only, not ordination day. But this Samnera, Sangarakita Samnera was thinking, then I just ordained today and I became Arahanta. Then was there any persons who could shake Dawarinda, the Vijayanta mission and Dawarinda Devarams? Only just the ordination day. Then when he reflect on that, no, he don't see anybody. He didn't see anybody. Then I was trying to shake Seka's missions with my psychic power. Then, after his ordination, then he flew. He went to the Dawarinda Devarams. Then he stopped. What happened? He stood at the top of Vijayanta mission. Then with his psychic power, he tried to shake this Vijayanta mission. But what happened? He couldn't shake the Vijayanta mission with his psychic power. At that times, many Devi from Vijayanta mission, just now already mentioned, there are many thousands of Devi in Dawarinda mission, also very big buildings, is it? Then they joke with the Samnera, or the Buddha Sangarakita, my son Sangarakita, very young, is it? My son Sangarakita, you have the stinking brain. With the stinking brain, how you will be able to shake the very strong Vijayanta mission? Vijayanta mission is very strong, very fine. It is not easy to shake. They joke with the Sangarakita Samnera. At that time, Sangarakita Samnera thought to himself, they we are joking with me. They are joking with me, but I came here without learning from the teacher. Then I will go and learn how to use the psychic powers to shake the Vijayanta mission. Then he tried to find his teacher. Where is his teacher after his ordination? Then his teacher, Mahanaga Arhanta, he also create one water cave in the ocean. Then he stayed there by entering into Phalassamapatti. Then, Sangarakita Samnera immediately flew to his teacher. Then his teacher says, Sangarakita, you went to Dawarinda Devarams to fight with the Deva, to fight me, to compete psychic power, is it? Without learning from the teacher. Then he also replied, yes, Bhante, I'm trying to Seka's mission, but I couldn't shake this mission. That is why many Devi joke me. Then Venerable Mahanaga Arhanta also answered, if you cannot shake this Deva's mission, who will be able to shake this mission? But then he also continued to teach. There's a one count down in the water. Counts down in the water. Then what will happen? The count down. Water is shaken. Because of water is shaken, the count down also shaken. Is it? Counts down or counts physics is shaken because of water is shaken. When the Mahanaga Arhanta explained in this way, with this example, then you can understand. Then Sangarakita Samnera understood. Okay, then I didn't use the water casinas to create as water under the Vijayana dimension. Then, okay, taking this example, taking this explanation from Mahanaga Arhanta, then he went to towering the Devarams again. Then that time, then he entered into water kasina up to 4 jhana state. Based on this water kasina 4 jhana, then he determined, may the water appear under the Vijayana dimensions. Then after that, he tried to shake the Vijayana dimension with his great toe. Then, Vijayana dimension was shaking here and there. At that time, many Devi also shout, oh, Bhante, please don't try to shake, we are very fearful. We are afraid of this. Then when they request, then the Sangharakita Samnera also stood at the door for the Vijayana dimension. Then he also shout a kind of stanza, Ejewaham Pavajito, Eja Pata Sawakayan, Eja Gambe mi Bazaran, Oho Buddha sa Ularo, Oho Buddha Sularata. Venerable Sangharakita also speak. Venerable, the Samnera Sangharakita also recite this stanza rejoicefully, happily. What is the meaning? Ejewaham Bhagavajito, I am just ordained as a Samneras today. Ejapata Sawakaya, I became Arhanta, I am destroying all defilements today. Then Eja Kampebi Pasara. Then I'm trying to shake Vijayana mention, Sakas mention and towering the Devarams today. Oho Buddhasa Ularata. Oh, the Buddha is very superior. Extremely superior. In the same way, Oho Dhammasa Ularata. The Dhamma is very superior. Oho Sanghasa Ularata. The Sangha is very superior. He also recited this stanza rejoicefully and towering the Devarams. Is it? This is because of power, psychic power of Samnera. Whenever Moggallana also the same way. They trying to shake the Sakka's mission and towering the Devaram with the psychic power. This is also one reason for great earthquake. There are all together 8 reasons great earthquake. Not the small earthquake. No, small earthquake may appear because of the unstable conditions or elements from time to time. Sometimes a little bit strong, sometimes maybe weak, something like this. Not because of the other reasons. Yeah. In this way, the Buddha explained the 8 causes, 8 reasons of the great earthquakes to Venerable Ananda. Then Venerable Ananda actually realized the Buddha already languaged his Ayu Sankara life maintaining Samapati. But at that time, Venerable Ananda prepares to request the Buddhas not to language, to stay full lifespan, full lifespan of 100 years or more than 100 years. But the Buddha didn't give a chance to Venerable Ananda to request. Then the Buddha continued to talk the other talk. The other talk the other talk is Atta Prisa, Venerable Dhammadasi, you show the Atta Prisa, 8 assemblies, is it? Okay, what are the assemblies? Briefly, Khatiya Prisa. The Buddha taught this one, Khatiya Prisa, then righteous assemblies. Then Brahmana Prisa, the Brahmins assemblies. Then Gahapati Prisa, Householders assemblies. Then Samana Prisa, ascetics assemblies. Then number 5, Chadu Marajika Parisa, assemblies of the 4 great kings. Towering Parisa, assemblies of the 33 Devas. The number 7, Mara Parisa assemblies of Maras. The number 8, Brahmana Parisa assemblies of Brahmana, Brahma assemblies of Brahmas. Altogether 8 assemblies, 8 audience, Parisas. Or sometimes, you know, the Buddha, for example, Khattiya assemblies like a Kosala king and also Bimbisara king, etc. Then there are many different countries and even maybe in the universe, there are many different kings, Parisa. They have their own king in their country. Then the Buddha also went to their country, their world, etc. Then the Buddha create like their king. Then the Buddha also gives the Dhamma talks to them. When the Buddha was teaching, the Buddha is giving the Dhammas to them. Then they was listening to the Buddha's Dhamma talk. It is very wonderful, wonderful. But they, they couldn't realize Nibbana. They couldn't realize Nibbana. Only just they think this is good. This is good. They also respect their king. That is why the Buddha also created like their king's appearance. Then he gave the Dhamma talks to them by sitting in their king's place. At the time, the king, their real king was not there. Then after giving the Dhamma talk, the Buddha disappeared from their place. Then that time, their real king came to this place. Oh, just now we thought this is our king, but our king is here. Then where is it this person? This person is human being or deva, or they have such kinds of thinking. Is it? In this way, the Buddha explains to Venerable Ananda, not only the Khattiya Parisa, riotous assemblies, the Buddha also went to Brahmana. Some they respect the Brahmana, is it? In this Brahmana, they also have the leader in their community. Then when the leader says something to them, they also respect the leader's the teaching, etc. Then the Buddha also the Buddha also created like the Brahmana's leader. The Buddha also disguised as the Brahmana's leader and gave Dhammas to them. They also thought, this is very good speech. They think this is their leader. But finally, the Buddha disappeared from this place. Then their Brahmana leader came to this place and, we thought this is our leader. Then who is this one? Just disappear. He is human being or deva, or they think like this. In the same way, the other, householders, prisa, ascetics, samana, prisa, etc. Then deva also, Brahma also, Mara also, the Buddha went to many places, even in this world and also in the universe, in many places. The Buddha is actually explaining, Venerable Ananda, I went to many places. I also gave many Dhamma talks to them in this way. Then what will happen? Then the Buddha want to show, because of Mara's request, the Buddha feared Mara. That is why he abandoned his Ayu Sankhara, life maintenance, Samapatti. Some may thought in this way, but the Buddha want to show he has no fear. Is it? Not because of fear, he relinquished his life maintenance, Samapatti, and not because of fear. Only just the Buddha want to show. Then when the Buddha gave the Dhamma talks to them, although the Buddha was teaching the Dhammas to them, they will not realize the Nibbana. They will not penetrate the Four Noble Truths. When the Buddha went to such kinds of persons by creating their leader or their king, etc., then Vasanatthaya, although they don't understand the Buddha's teaching now, but by listening to those kinds of Dhamma, Then later it was supposed then to realize Nibbana, to penetrate the Four Noble Truth. Because of this reason, the Buddha went to many places to give the Dhamma talk with their appearance. Is it? Yeah. Then the Buddha also may reach, for example, the USA or other country in the world here. But that time, they didn't realize Nibbana. Is it? Right? Only the Buddha went there. The Buddha know they will not understand the Buddha's teachings. But by listening to the Buddha's Dhamma, it was supposed for them to realize Nibbana in the future. Because of this reason, the Buddha went to many places, even in different universe, not only in this world. Then, that's why I said the Buddha only want to show he has no fear, although his language, his Ayu Sankhara, life maintenance, Samapatti, life maintenance Samapatti, due to Mara's entreat. And then the Buddha will continue to talk about the other things, you know, there will be, they will explain in the later. Now, you know, there are 8 causes for great earthquake, or there are also 8 assemblies. Then today with today's Dhamma talk, is it? Then maybe able to practice, the 3 trainings step by step successfully, and maybe able to realize Nibbana, maybe able to escape from craving. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Siara, for today's teaching. We have about 25 minutes left. May we open the floor for today's questions? You can submit your questions to the Zoom's question and answer now. Thank you so much. This is from August 27th's question, Siara. Vedami Siara, according to Abhidhamma, jhana realm have differentiation in total 16 Rupa Brahma realm from the 1st to the 4th jhana. Can meditators know how deep their jhana, where they will be reborn with their jhana? Dhatu, dhatu, dhatu from anonymous attendee.
Well, they will be reborn with their jhana. Meditators can understand the concentration themselves, which kinds of level. Is it? Which kinds of level. For example, according to their chanda also, chanda, viriya, citta, vimansa, you know, if we call adipati, chanda, viriya, citta, vimansa, these adipati are very strong. Then they wish to be, for example, there are 3 runs in the 1st jhana Brahma run. They wish to be reborn as Mahabrahma, not the Brahma Pariseja and Brahma Purohita. Only in Mahabrahma. They wish. Because of their chanda desire, they also practice the 1st jhana frequently, diligently. Then they are very skillful in the 1st jhana. Then they also understand their conditions in the 1st jhana, whether it is very powerful or not. Then, if it is very powerful, even they are very sick, they are very weak, no energy, they can still enter into the 1st jhana easily. Then, okay, according to their wishes, they can be reborn in Mahabrahma realms, not in Brahma Purohita, Brahma Pariseja and Brahma Purohita. But if their jhana's concentration and the desire are very weak, a little bit weak, although they wish, but their jhana is not so powerful, etc., then they can be reborn in lower Brahma realms, like Brahma Pariseja and Brahma Purohita, not in Mahabrahma. The other Brahma realm also the same way. Is it? Chanda, Viriya, Citta, Vimansa. is very important. Chanda Wado Kainama Kama Nasajati. Whatever you want to be, you wish to be, then you have desire, you have intention. Because of this, you try very hard, then you become skillful in this. Or if you are in very good condition, according to your wishes, it can be fulfilled.
Thank you, Sayadaw. Dhatu. Another question from August 27th. Vadami Sayadaw, how can one have a wise attention most of the time? I think most of my attention is unwise towards life and everything. There is so much attachment. Can you please give me advice on how to have a right mindset to have less attachment? Thank you. Dhatu. From Tinlin Win. It's from me, Sayadaw.
Then according to the the meditations instructions, then we call charita. Charita is a temperament. Some they have the attachment is more stronger than the other defilements. Some maybe dosa, anger is more stronger than the other defilements, kilesa. Or depends on their temperament, their nature or characters. Is it characters? Or they can emphasize on one meditation subject which is suitable for them. For example, Asubha Bhavita Bharakasa Bahanaya, the development of Asubha meditation is very suitable for removal of attachment, the raga, lust, etc. That is why frequently they should develop Asubha meditation. Asubha meditation means 32% of the body or the death Asubha, also the same way. Then like skeletal meditation, also the same. They should reflect on this frequently. Then they can reduce the attachments. Is it? When they see the Asubha nature. Usually attachment means when they see the agreeable object, desirable objects, they think this is beautiful, etc. But if they pay attention, the object is ugliness, or they pay attention is repulsiveness, etc. Then they will not have attachment to this objects too much. So they should develop Asubha meditation. As Asubha means 32% of the body also, there's body also, there's skeletal meditation also. Okay, that frequently. If dosa, they have the strong dosa, the dosa is more stronger than the other kilesa, then they should develop metta, bhavita, japa, dasa, pahanaya. The development of metta meditation should be developed for the removal of dosa, or like this. The Buddha taught this in Meghiya Sutta also. But every meditation, when you become skillful in one meditation, every meditation can reduce the all defilement. Also can remove all defilement, can completely destroy all defilements. But they are opposite each other. That is why they can start with the such kinds of opposite meditation.
Thank you, Sayadaw.
顶礼尊者，当今时代一劫为多少岁？萨度。
One kappa is Ayukappa here. Ayukappa is for example, during the Buddha time, they consider as Ayukappa is 100 years. 100 years, Satanwa, Apanwa Peyor, Dutiya Wasa Satan, Napapunati. That during the Buddha times, if they can live according to the lifespan, full lifespan, Ayukappa, then this is 100 years, consider 100 years. But some because of their karma, they can also live longer than 100 years. For example, 120, 140, 160, etc. Venerable Bhakula stay 110 60 years. Venerable Mahākassapa, Ananda, etc., they stay 120. Visakha, etc. Is it? Then some only just about 100, some maybe about 80 or something like that. Then, but the Ayukapa is during the Buddha time 100. But during the Buddha times, then 100 years, when there is 100 years, then what will happen? Then reduce 1 year. Then 1,000 years, reduce 10 years, like 10 years of the lifespan. Then since the Buddha's times, now about 2,500, is it? 2,600. Then reduce about 25 or 26 years from the Buddha time. Then that is why nowadays we consider the lifespan, Ayukapa, nowadays is 75 years. But some can live more than 75 years, like just now. You know, although we consider 100 years lifespan, but some persons can stay more than 100 years, about 140, 60, something like this. But not, they will not reach up to 200 years. Is it? If someone says, I am 200 years old or more than 200 years old, or maybe this person is lying, is it? Then nobody can reach up to 200 years during these times. Now 75, you can consider.
Vedamisyara, is it possible for an arahat to start practicing for abhayan even after they become arahat from Sami? Tadu, tadu, tadu.
It's possible for an arahant to start practicing for abhayan even after they became arahanta. Sure. Then some, for example, they became arahanta with the practice of vipassana. Without jhana attainment, then we call Sutta Vipassana Yanika, pure vehicle meditators. They start beginning from 4 elements meditation. They descend Rupa, Nama, Prajasamopara, Vipassana systematically. Finally, they become Arahanta. Then they still don't have jhana attainment yet. Is it? Then they want the jhana attainment, then they can continue to practice. For them, it will be easier. Why? Since they became Arahanta, there's no defilement, no hindrances. Then they will be able to practice jhana. They will be able to practice meditation to attain jhana. Based on jhana, they can continue to practice abhayan. They can attain abhayan also.
Thank you, Sayadaw.
Benjamin 想要的，佛陀在经典里提到入禅、离欲、离诸不善法等等，请问如何离欲、离诸不善法？
Which wakamehi, which agusle dhamehi, savidakan, savijaram, vigajan piti, sukhan, pataman, jana, upasampecha, viharati. Then me, for example, they are practicing anapana meditation, step by step, systematically. Then finally, they can stay with the anapana objects for a long time, for 1 hour, 2 hours, etc. At that time, because of power of concentration, you know, when they can stay with the breath objects deeply, then they feel very peaceful and comfortable. No hindrances appear in their mind. Is it? They practice in this way, the concentrations become deeper and deeper. Then this is not jhana's condition yet. At the time, you know, arisings or hindrances not frequently like before. Or it may arise from time to time only. Then finally, in this way, they can maintain their concentration, and their concentrations become mature. Then finally, the nimitta also appear and they can stay with the Pratipaka nimitta deeply. For 2 hours, 3 hours, etc. for a long time, many times. Then at that time, they reach up to Upachara Samadhi, access concentration, or Apana Samadhi, absorption concentration state. Then, you know, before attainment of those concentration, such kinds of the Kama Chanda Nivarana, sexual desire or sensual desire, it will Vyapara Nivarana anger may appear in their mind frequently. Also, the other hindrances will appear frequently. Is it? But during this time, when they can stay with the Anapana or Pratipaka nimitta objects deeply, many times, long times, then you know such kinds of such a desire, anger will not appear in their mind. Oh, they are secluded from sensual pleasure, which you are kamehi, which are agusala dhammi, you know, agusala evil mind will not arise in their mind. Agusala dhamma. They are secluded from agusala, the arisings of agusala. Which you are kami, which are agusala dhammi. Savitek and savicharan, the same, is it? Which you are kamehi, me, the karma, then they stay with the dhamma objects only, not karma objects at the time. Before reaching this stage, their mind, although they try to stay with the breath objects, meditation object, mind doesn't want to stay here. Go back to the sensual objects, thinking about sensual pleasure, thinking about killing, thinking about harming, etc. The akusala are arising in their mind. Sensual pleasure are arising, sensual desire are arising in their mind. But in this condition, when they attain Upachara Samadhi or Apana Samadhi, then their minds will stay with the meditation objects only, especially nimitta object only. Will not go to the sensuous objects, akusala objects. That is why their mind is secluded from sensual pleasure and arisings of akusala.
Benjamin 阿斗，请问尊者，外星球的人属于六道的哪个道？The aliens.
Or aliens. So aliens, there's the kinds of alien Yoda and other planets like you mean. Sis Rami or the Kama. Kama Vajara. Okay. 11 rank is a Kama Vajara ranks, you know, then 4 Abhaya and human raw and the 6 Deva ranks. Altogether 11. No? 11 is the Kama Vajara, called Kama Vajara. The other are Brahma ranks. You know, the Chakrawala is the universe. One universe is composed of the 31 realms. This is considered one universe, you know, one universe, one Chakrawala. There are also many such kinds of Chakrawala in other places. There are also many Deva and human beings, but the appearance in other universe may not be the same appearance. That is why some they consider as alien, something like this. Is it Joda? Other aliens, not like human being, may not be the same appearance. Even you know our appearance, Myanmar appearance and the Western appearance may not be the same. Is it? Even in the same world. If the other world also the same, there will be different appearances. But according to commentary, you know, the Buddha, the chief disciple, only appear in this world, only can appear in this world. But when the Buddha appear, for example, when the Buddha gave the first sermon, Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, then that time human being, only just 5 human beings were listening. Then after the end of this Dhammacakkappavattana Sutta, then Venerable continues became Sotapanna as a human being, only one. But that time, you know, many Brahma, 80 koti, 180 million, is it? 180 million Brahmas became Sotapanna, etc. Noble person. This one is not only from this Brahma was in our Brahma runs in our universe. Also, Brahma runs from the other universe. They also came to lessons in this way, is it? Oh, but they also can realize Nibbana from in the other world, especially Brahma and Deva. Brahma and Deva. Usually, human being only in this world possible.
Padamisiaro, why do the chief disciples and other arahats enter Nibbana with Buddha's passing? When after Buddha's passing, there is an even greater need for the arahats to teach ordinary beings. From anonymous attendee, Tadu, Tadu, Tadu.
And why do the chief disciple and other arahats enter Nibbana with the Buddha's passing? When after Buddha's passing, there's an even greater need for the arahats to teach ordinary beings. The nature is, you know, the chief disciple. Then according to the tradition or nature, okay, this is natural, is it? Nature. Then before taking the Prinnibbana of the Buddha, then chief disciple need to take final Prinnibbana first. But great disciples are still remaining after the Buddha's passing, taking final Prinnibbana, is it? The great disciple like Venerable Kassapa, Venerable Ananda, Anuruddha still remaining. They also stay for 120 years, etc. 120 years. But the chief disciple, Venerable Sariputta and Moggallana, like Venerable Sariputta and Moggallana, they took final Prinnibbana before the Buddha's final Prinnibbana. This is natural, not only in this Buddha, and in the past Buddha also in the same. Venerable Sariputta also, Moggallana also reflect in this way. Or chief disciple take final Prinnibbana before the Buddha, then they also took final Prinnibbana. That means when they reflect on their lifespan, remaining lifespan, at that time they realize not so many, only just 70 remain, something like this. This is natural. Then there's an even greater need for the arahants to teach ordinary being. Even greater needs for the arahants to teach ordinary being. What do you mean? Uttamadasi. Oh, no problem. There are many the great disciples still remaining. After that, there are also many successive generations. Is it? For example, Venerable Mahākassapa, then his disciple, his disciple. Venerable Ananda also, he also teach his disciple also teach another disciple. In this way, generation came until now, up to the end of the sasana. It will come like this.
Thank you, Sarah.
Friend Misa, 顶礼尊者，请问尊者，佛陀与阿拉汉圣者们所产生的震动，应该不会造成任何生命的伤害，是吗？
No, this one is only sometimes Venerable Venerable Moggallana, he trying to shake the Vijayana mission of Saka's palace in Davinda Divaram because he wants to make fearful. He wants to make fear on the Saka's mind. When he fear with the shaking or the mention at the time only they have the sense of urgency. Some way, then he remember Buddha's teaching. Otherwise, full of sensual pleasure in their mind. That is why they immediately forgot the Buddha's teaching. Is it? Then the Venerable Moggallana want to make a sense of urgency, some way in their mind with his psychic power. Then because of fearful mind, then he immediately remember Buddha's teaching. Then he answer Buddha's teachings to Venerable Moggallana. But Venerable Sangharakita's shaking is he only just want to test. He only just want to test his psychic power, not to make fears to the Devi, etc. Is it? What he thought is okay. He just ordained today. He also became Arahanta today. Then is there any person who could shake Tarinda, the Vijayana mentions after ordination immediately on this day? No. Then nobody there. That is why he want to test his psychic power. Is it not to make? Then he also recited the stanza. Oh, Buddha is Ularata. Oh, Buddha is very superior. Dhamma is very superior. Sangha is very superior. Like this, is it?
No. Okay. Ciara, it's 8 o'clock already, and there's a lot of questions left. Do you still want to continue with a few more questions, Ciara, or shall we just save it for next time?
No, you already showed us which one. Already finished.
This is another question. After this one, there's
only just this one. Okay.
Just this one? Okay, Ciara. Vadame Ciara, for a meditator who is skillful in the mastery of jhana and is going to be reborn in one of the Brahman realms in the next life, what will be the near-death impulsion, Maranansanda jhana for this meditator, please? And there's another question. Do you want me to continue reading the second one too, or no?
For the first question is for the meditator who is skillful in the mastery of jhana and is going to be reborn in one of the Brahma realms in the next life. There will be the near-death impulsions, Maranasana jhana for this meditator, please. Sure. Next one also the same. Yes, at the near-death moment, the near-death moment, he will enter into jhana. He will enter into jhana where he wishes to be reborn. Is it? Then, for example, the first jhana or the second, the fourth jhana. Then, according to his intention and his skill, then he could enter into this jhana. Then it will be near that moment impulsions. Is okay. Impulsions, jhana. Then with this, the jhana, then he will pass away and he will be reborn in Brahma. Next question, what?
The next question is, will the jhana consciousness arise in the near-death process or just sense sphere wholesome kamavajra mahakutala, taking the nimitta of the jhana as object, please?
Or will the jhana's consciousness arise in the near-death process? Or just sense spheres wholesome kamavajra mahakutala, taken the nimitta or the jhana is object, please. No, this one will be jhana jhana. Near death Maranasana jhana will be Jhana Jawana, no? Jhana Jawana for those who will be reborn in Brahma ranks, not Kama Vajara. The Nimitta, for example, they are taking Nimitta as objects. If Kama Vajara arises, for example, like Upajara Samadhi, then there will be Kama Vajara Jawana. If Jhana Jawana entering into Jhana, then there will be Jhana Jawana at the near the moment. Then to be reborn in Brahma ranks. If object is the nimitta objects, we call the karma nimitta objects, is it? Nimitta objects. But he couldn't enter into jhana, only just reach upajara samadhi, or if nimitta is a patibhaga nimitta, will be upajara samadhi. If nimitta is a ugaha or the other nimitta, can be normal kama vajara kusala. Then they will be reborn in Karma run only, not in Brahma runs.
Thank you, Sayadaw. Tadu. Sayadaw, may you please lead us in making aspiration and shared merits, please? Tadu.
Therapy after me to share your merits to all beings. Idame punya, asawa kaya,
Atawakaya,
wahan hotu, idame punya, nibbānasa,
Nibbānata,
picayo hotu, mama punya bhagan,
Mama Bhagan,
sabba sadhana,
Tapatatana,
bhajemi, te sabbe,
Etabe,
mesama,
Medama,
punya bhagan,
Bhagan,
labandu,
Abandu,
sadhu.
Thank you again for Sayadaw's teaching and Bante's interpretation. Sayadaw and Bante, please feel free to leave the Zoom at your convenience. Tadu. We have a few announcements to make. We are still open in 2 weeks teaching. Venerable Sayadaw, Ukumara Bhiwanta, the last days of Bodha, Mahāparinibbāṇa Sutta, part 4 will continue at these following times. In next week's teaching, it'll be Venerable Sayadaw U Zanaka Bhiwanta's Perfection of Generosity, part 6, same time, Saturday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. We still open, our open weekend meditations are still ongoing with Venerable Sayadaw U Aganya every weekend between July 29th through October 9th. For details and registration, please also check out our website for availability. Anyone who is interested to visit the center or come to meditate, please fill out the visitor request form and sign the waiver before your visit to Pau, Georgia. Also, during the Vasa, more new Dhamma events will continue to be posted on our website when it's available. We also have our YouTube channel, Facebook, and you are most welcome to check them out. Thank you once again to our co-host, Pau Singapore. Thank you everyone for your time and participation. Till we meet again, may you all be well, healthy, and happy. Tadu.